Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chella and this is Chella Reads a Bit. Today I'm going to be bringing you a tier list ranking video. I'm going to be ranking the most hyped or popular books that I've noticed. A list that was compiled with the help of my amazing sister. I would not be able to do this video really without her help because I'm not really up to date on what's hip and cool these days in the book world. But I've compiled a list of 19 books, as you can see here. So I'm going to be ranking them based on how much I want to read them. Like if I'm going to read them, if it's even a possibility, or if I'm ever going to try to read them. That's what I'm doing. And just a warning, if my camera is out of focus, I apologize. It's my first time trying to use it in this way, so I apologize if it's out of focus. I can't see. My glasses are off because of the light, so bear with me. Also, I am recording audio on a mic too, so it might be a little janky until I figure out how best to do it. I'm not going to be the best at syncing it, so bear with me as I figure out how I'm going to do videos from now on. But I am recording. You could see my screen and my tier list. And before we get into ranking them, I do just want to say, if you do enjoy these videos, please feel free to like and subscribe. I would love to have you here. And also a big thanks to my sister for this camera, this mic, the ring light. She's just the best. Anywho, and thank you to my boyfriend who helped me set all this up. So thank you. So let's get into it. So as you will see, here is my tier list that I've made. So these are the hype books that my sister helped me compile. These are not all of them. They're not even a good portion of them. These are just the ones she could think of and the ones I found as well. And I'm going to rank them based on chance of me reading them. Because, everyone wants to know if I'm going to read these books. Everyone's asking about it. No one's asking about it. Let's be honest, no one's asking about it. But anywho. So the first one is, I definitely would try this. So it's something that reading the synopsis, I would definitely find myself wanting to pick it up and try it out and see what the hullabaloo is about. The next one is Strong Possibility. So I'm not quite there where it's a definite gonna try it, or, it's like, there's a big possibility I might pick it up. If I'm in the mood, I might pick it up. Then after that, it's a maybe. Like, I'm on the fence. Like, it's maybe if I really think about it for a bit, maybe I will pick it up. It's not really top of my priority list or really on my radar. It is just there. Then would be Gonna Need Persuading. So this one is where I'm really not sure. I don't know if I would really read it. It doesn't really seem like something that I would want to really sit down and spend my time on. But if you gave me a good argument and gave me something that gives some aspects that I would enjoy, then I might be persuaded to give it a go. I'm not that close-minded where I won't, see if you can persuade me into something that maybe I will enjoy. And then last but not least, wouldn't even touch it with a 10-foot pole. This is, I think, self-explanatory. I'm definitely never going to touch it. I don't have any desire. It doesn't exist in my mind. I wouldn't touch it even if I wasn't even the one touching it. It just ain't going to happen. I don't want to read it. It does not appeal to me. No. It's a no from me. So that one is that it's definitely not going to happen. No matter how much you persuade me, it's not going to happen. Again, there's always a possibility I could end up reading it, even though I'm saying I definitely won't. Because, maybe for a video I might try it, but picking it up on my own because I think I will enjoy it, that's just not it. So, that is that one. So, these are the books that we compiled. Some of them are more than one book. Some of them are like this, where it's more than one. This is, again, more than one. And then here and here we have more like an author. Like, I found an image for all, like, the author. I'll explain it as I get to it, but yeah. So these are the books, and let's get to where I would put each one. Okay, so starting off, I have A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and my sister does have this book, and she has started to read it. I don't think she's finished it, but I have heard so many people talk about it. And I'm sorry if you hear the fan of the computer. It is pretty loud. Anyway, so A Little Life, I know it is a very sad book, and that a lot of people cry while reading it. And I know it's very hyped. A lot of people have made vlogs of them crying over it, Oh, and just, a little side note, this cute Totoro shirt that I've had for many years that my sister got me, just wanted to shout that out too. Sorry if this video is all over the place, but, I just wanted to point that out. First time wearing it also. But, yeah. Anywho, so A Little Life, this is how much I don't want to read this book, honestly. So, I've just heard that it's trauma porn. Not really for me. I don't want to read something that's going to make me cry. Especially not in the near future. Just not. I used to want to read this book. I did want to read it long ago. But then as time went on, I became less and less interested in books that were sad and very emotional. Because I am already sad and emotional without that. So let me just not read something that has to do with that. So, A Little Life, it can't be definitely, because I definitely won't pick it up. Not even a strong possibility, let's be honest. It's a maybe. No, gonna need persuading. You couldn't persuade me to read this book. I've watched so many people talk about it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Nothing against the book or Hanya Yanagihara. It's just not for me. I know Jude's story is sad, and he's a cinnamon roll that should be loved, but it's just not for me. I wouldn't touch it. Not because it's a bad book, or I think it's gonna be a bad book, bad written, or anything. I think it's just because it's really sad, and that's just not something that I'm gonna read. So that's that. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This one, So with this one, I watched Jess's video from Jess Owens, who I always mention because she's amazing. I think that everyone should watch her. I watched her vlog of her reading this, and she also read Final Girl Support Group, which is not on here. And then she did a spoiler and non-spoiler video on it. And I watched it, and it definitely is not something I would be interested in. I do not like space. I do not like reading about it. I do not like learning about it. I do not like looking at it. It scares me. It gives me an existential crisis. It is just not for me. The whole astronaut thing, just not for me. And I know that a lot of people like it. I feel like even just looking at it, and from just before I even knew the spoilers for it, it just sounded like The Martian, just with a different character. It just seemed like too close to the original one that he has done, that everyone loves, which I've never read and I've never watched a movie, and I never will. Like I said, I don't care for space. I'm happy for you if you do, but no, not for me. I'm for my peace of mind, I'm just gonna keep it where it is. But even listening to what she had to say about the book itself, outside of the whole space thing, I wouldn't like it. I don't think I would like the characters. I don't think I would really care for the writing. So, wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I know this is a lot of people's best of 2021 book, which, like Jess said, I don't understand. But it is what it is. It's not for me. But good for you if you like it. Don't think I'm ever gonna pick up anything from Andy Weir. Anyways, so next one is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I know this is very loved. I know that for a fact. I've heard a lot of people love it. I get it. I get it. She has beautiful writing. I have never read a book by Madeline Miller. And as you can see, Sarah C is next. The Song of Achilles. I don't really care about reading books that have anything to do with, is it Greek mythology? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. It's some mythology. And I think it's Greek. Maybe. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. The point is that I don't really care about it. I don't care about their love story. I've heard what people have to say about it, and I don't. Also, again, it's something that makes people cry. It's touching, and I don't. I'm not into that. I'm not really interested in that. I really hope most of these don't end up in Wouldn't Touch It with a 10-foot pole, because that would be bad. I don't know if anybody would really want to watch a video where they all end up there, but it is what it is. So, the Song of Achilles, I know that it's beautifully written from what people say. I know it's about Achilles and Patroclus and their love story and stuff, but I heard that Achilles is not that great of a character to read about. He's pretty much a douche. I don't really want to read about a douche, It's just not in my top 10 things to do right now. I mean, I if it's a book that I'm really interested in and I really want to read, then it doesn't matter at that point if they are, and then I'll stop reading it if it gets to a point. But I don't even really want to read this, and I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Sorry, not sorry. And I think Cersei would also go into that category. I'm sorry that a lot of these are ending up in this category, but you can't persuade me to read them. So this is the only option that it could go. It's a no. I don't care about Cersei. I've heard what people have to say about the book and what happens to Cersei, what the point of the book is, and I'm just like, I don't really want to read this book about this. I just don't. It just is. I just don't want to read that book. I don't really want to read Madeline Miller, and just to talk about Jess again, because she's great. She didn't like I think she tried reading Cersei. She said it was boring. It felt like reading a beautifully written textbook, yet still a textbook, And yeah, no. I mean, again, I'm making my own opinion, but I'm listening to what someone else has to say. It is my opinion where I don't think I would still like it, even if she didn't say that. I've heard so many people talk about how much they like these two books, and even with that, I just don't care about the subject. I don't care about any of it. Tell me there's beautiful writing. I don't really give a shit. It doesn't make me want to read it. Ooh, and it's just going to go downhill still with the love hypothesis again, just to talk about Jess. I know this video is just me gushing about Jess, and just because I listen to Jess, I think that she has some good points when she talks about books. Even without seeing the video Jess Owens did about her review on the love hypothesis, I would say that it'd be a no for me. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. This is by Ali Hazelwood. I don't want to read a Raylo fanfic. Nothing against fanfiction. I used to read fanfiction. But I think from what I've heard in the excerpts I've seen, fanfiction is better. Some fanfiction is better written than this. And I don't care about these two. And I don't like the concept of the quirky main character because, they eat junk food and don't do certain things. Like, okay, we get it. You're not like other girls, I guess. But it just doesn't make sense to me. And also, whenever Jess said the part for the sex scene, and spoiler if you don't want to know, I let myself be spoiled for it. But so spoilers. I'm giving you a chance to not listen and just wait until put my hand down or something. But when it's a sex scene and it says that he fit her whole boob to his mouth, that's I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole at that point. I don't really think I want to know how you did that, but good on you. If that's what you like to do on your own time, that's good on you. But yeah, just the description and everything, I still wouldn't have read it whether I watched Jess or not. It's just not something that I would have picked up. I'm not much of a romance person. There are romances that I do want to pick up, but this would not have been one of them. I don't care about Raylo fanfic, like I said, and I don't want to read something like that. And I don't want to hear that you fit her whole boob in your mouth. Like me. Okay. But yeah, so no. It's just not going to happen. So, and moving on. Again, this is bad. The first 4 just go into Wouldn't Even Touch It with a 10-foot pole. Oh my god. Okay, I don't hate all books. please don't think that this means I hate all books. I do have to admit, I do not like when something is hyped and that everyone loves it and like there's nothing bad that people are saying about it. I hate that. It makes me not want to read the book at all, or I don't want to have anything to do with it because I don't like that. Like there's things that can be wrong with it. Like I don't like hype. It pisses me off. But that's my opinion. If you like hype, that's good on you. But anywho, the next one is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So I actually, when I was working at a bookstore, I always looked at this book, and I knew about it because of BookTube, and then I worked at a bookstore, and this was like on our bestsellers part for a long till I left. Like I don't know if it's still there or not, but I actually want to read this, so definitely would try this. I want to know what happens. Like these two best friends who would go on vacation, like these two friends would go on vacation every year, but then something happens, and then they stop doing this thing. So I would love to know. I would love to know what happened. I definitely want to read it. I know that like the next one, The Beach Read by Emily Henry, is also really hyped too. But I really want to read People We Meet on Vacation. Going into Beach Read though by Emily Henry, wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Again, I know that people had an issue with like it looks like it should be like a fun book that isn't as serious and like a fun time, and that when they went into it actually wasn't that, and it was more deep in stuff than they were anticipating, and there's more harder topics in it. And again, I'm just not interested in that. I don't want to be sad while reading, especially now. Right now in my life, I really don't want that. I want to read things that are, maybe I like, it's not that I don't read books that have some hard stuff in it. It's just like I don't want to go into certain books that I know that I also just wouldn't like in general and that are harder to read. So that one's a no, but I do really want to read People We Meet on Vacation. I've wanted to read that. I just haven't gone in and I just haven't gotten to it. So that is those. The next is going to be technically more than one. It is the Heartstopper graphic novels by Alice Oseman, I believe. Okay. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in my unpopular opinions book tag. But, or was it contradiction? Either one, Heartstopper. I don't want to just put it in wouldn't even touch it with a 10-foot pole, because that's mean. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong and stuff about these graphic novels, but I would need persuading. I would need some more persuading, and I know people talk about it all the time, and that's still not enough to persuade me, but if you really could give me an argument on why I should read these graphic novels, then maybe I would. But right now, it just isn't for me. I agree that it's probably cute and everything, and I am all for that love, I'm all about it. I'm just not interested in reading a contemporary graphic novel, especially right now. I'm not really into contemporary in the first place. I know that People We Meet on Vacation is contemporary, but again, there are exceptions to that rule. Like, I get it. But I just am not interested in it. I'm sorry. Not interested in it, but I'm not going to put it in Wouldn't Touch It with a 10-foot pole because it doesn't deserve to be down there. But I would need a lot of persuading. I would need pretty much a dissertation on why I should read this. Because as of right now, it's just a no right now. Okay? Oh. Then The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So, I've heard a bunch of people talk about it. I know that G from Book Roast really likes the one book from Matt Haig. I don't remember if she read this one and how she felt about it. So, The Midnight Library, I don't think it would be definitely. I don't even think it's a strong possibility. Because I know it's about a woman who wants to commit suicide. Trigger warning. And then she, I think, attempts it, and she ends up in this place where this library where you can see, like, the different options you could have had in life. I don't know exactly, but that's the gist that I got. Okay, so it seems dark just because, it has to do with suicide and wanting to die. Already a strike against it for me. I bet it's has a good message or something, but it's just not something that really appeals to me. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I think I'm gonna have to put it in, and I'm gonna need some persuading, because I just don't know, because like I said, I am not really interested in things that are really gonna bring me down. I don't really want to be that depressed when I'm already depressed. So I'm gonna need persuading. I know a lot of people like Matt Haig, and I know that he's, from what I heard, a good writer, but it just is a no for me for now. But yeah, that is where it's gonna go. I'm gonna need some persuading on that one. The next one is It Happened One Summer by, I think, Tessa Bailey. I know this is like a Schitt's Creek kind of rom-com about a girl who ends up being cut off by her wealthy family. I think she's like an actress or something. I don't know. And then she goes to this beach town, and this dude doesn't think that she belongs and stuff. It's a romance. It's contemporary, so I don't really care for contemporary, and I'm not much into the romance genre. I do dabble in it every once in a while. I'm not I'm not well versed in this genre, but I would be willing to give it a try. I give some romances a try. So I would say it's a maybe. It's a maybe on that one, because it doesn't. It seems like it could be funny. I know everyone loves Schitt's Creek and it's funny and everything. So it's a maybe. I might consider that one. I've not heard what a lot of people say anything about it, because my sister mentioned it. I know she's all on the TikTok and all that other stuff, and she knows what she's talking about. So I believe that it's probably hyped. I've heard a lot of people talking about having it, but I don't remember anyone saying how they felt about it. For some reason, I probably did, but I just don't fucking remember. But yeah, so it's a maybe. I would give it a chance. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. Next is these two books. The Crescent City books. The first one is House of Earth and Blood, and then the second one is like the House of Sky and Breath or something. Some for shit. Come on, Sarah. What is with this and bland? But anywho, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this as well, and I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. You couldn't pay me enough goddamn fucking money to read these two books. I know everyone talks about them. I know everybody and their brother wants to just talk about them, and I'm like, I don't really give two flying fucks about this. I don't care about an urban fantasy by Sarah J. Maas. I don't. I also already spoiled myself for the whole thing at the end of A House of Sky and Breath, whatever the fuck it is. And stuff, and I already knew this kind of was coming, but it's just, I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't want it. I don't need it. You can take it back. I don't want it. I'm not gonna read it. You couldn't persuade me. You couldn't pay me enough. You couldn't ask me, even in the nicest way possible, to read these two books. I am starting to believe that I'm not much of a Sarah J. Maas person. I do have the first two of the Throne of Glass series that I will try, because I have tried it before, and I've tried Throne of Glass a long time ago. Only got 9 pages in because I couldn't stand Selena, but I'm willing to give those a go. But I am not touching these. I do not give a fuck. So no, you couldn't ask me. I don't care what it's about. I don't want to know. I've just heard that it's very, very. It's very heavy on the white, male, female, straight thing. I don't care. I don't want to hear about a mate. I don't want to hear about people fucking away their problems. No. I'm done. It's a no for me. And that concludes my rant on that. Next is Red, White, and Royal Blue. I am sorry. I'm going to have to put this in Wouldn't Touch It with a 10-foot pole. I don't care. It's a contemporary romance by Casey McQuiston. So I don't care about this contemporary romance. I'm always happy to see more LGBTQIA plus books. And everything. Like, I am happy about that. But my problem is that it's a contemporary romance, and I really already don't care. I don't care about the storyline. I don't care about royal and presidential democracy kind of thing. I don't want to read about politics like that. I want to be taken away from that for the most part. I don't care to read it. And that's why I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. I just don't care. And it's been so hyped, so shoved down my goddamn throat by people. I don't care. You guys can love it. That's good on you. I'm happy for you. But it's just a no for me. And I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah. And the next one is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. So, I think this one's about a girl whose sister is getting married or something, and she's been lying about having this boyfriend from America or something, so she has this like fake dating thing with her colleague who she can't stand at work. And it's all about that. It's a strong possibility. I was reading the synopsis for this, and I was like, yeah, I'm intrigued. I do like me a good fake dating thing, a good, you don't like the person, but then you end up falling for them. I do love that. So it's a strong possibility. I know some people didn't care for it. Some people didn't finish it. But I know a lot of people have talked about it, have read it, have loved it. So I would definitely give it a try. I know that it is contemporary romance. There's a strong possibility I could read The Spanish Love Deception. And I also want to read, I like the Spanish setting. So that is really high on my list. Like, It Happened One Summer, it's more like a white U.S. kind of thing, but like Spanish Love Deception, Spain, Spanish culture, like I'm all about that. I'm really into it. So that's a strong possibility. I don't want to step on some toes or anything, but next is Colleen Hoover. It's more of all of her books than just one, because I know a lot of people have been talking about most of her books. And I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. From what I've heard about her books, one, they're contemporary romance. Two, they just don't have appealing synopses for me. They don't appeal to me on a level of something that I would enjoy, but I also know that there's some things in there that I probably wouldn't agree with, I wouldn't want to read about. And I don't think I would enjoy the characters, the story, or any of it. So I've heard a lot of mixed things about Colleen Hoover. I know that she's very big right now again. I know TikTok has a lot to do with that, and I'm happy for everybody who's enjoying them, but I do not think that I would. So it's a no for me on that one as well. So sorry about that, but I'm not sorry, because I don't really care to read from Colleen Hoover. It's just never been a thing that's been on my mind. It's not been high on my priority list, and it's never going to be. So it's a no for me. Next is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So I have tried reading the Grisha trilogy. I read the first two, tried to read the third, and DNF'd it because I hated it. Did not like the second one. The first one was also not great. So, me and Leigh have not had the best, start. And from what I've heard of Ninth House, I don't think we would mesh either. So, yeah, from what I've heard, it's about a girl who ends up going to Yale because of some paranormal things. That's all I really know, and that she doesn't really do much work, and no. If you're going to have a school setting, to me, like, I would like to see some of the school settings. So from what I've heard, it doesn't really have much of that. But I also just don't care about the whole pretentious setting of Yale. I don't care. I don't care about Ivy League schools, honestly. I don't care. I don't I don't find myself gravitating towards dark academia in the first place. I don't like pretentious settings. I don't like pretentious people. I don't like pretentious writing. It just is a no for me. Sorry, but I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. You couldn't persuade me. It's definitely not a maybe, and it's not a strong possibility, and it's definitely not going to happen. So it's a no. I don't care about the Yale setting. I don't think I would like the characters. I don't think that the school setting probably is done very well, from what I've heard. I could always be wrong. This is my opinion. So, it's a no. Next is the Atlas 6, which I know is really big, and I know it originally was self-published. And I'm happy for, is it Olivia Blake? I don't know how you say her name, but I know that it's very big right now. I know everyone is, because it now is traditionally published. It was edited, and like things were added and stuff. And I read the synopsis for this book, and I was actually surprised when I read it, because I was like, I think I would definitely try that out. I didn't think I would, because I was like, it's dark. I think people say it's like a dark academia. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? But people say it's like a dark academia, and again, I'm not really into that genre, but I read that synopsis and I was like, intrigued. Color me intrigued. And I think that I would want to give it a go. I think that I might like it. I really like that setting of like magicians like finding out, like seeing their talents and like what they can do, and like them being pitted against each other. I want to see it. I kind of want to read it, And if I like it, it's a beautiful edition. It's beautiful. So I definitely would want to try this. And I was very surprised when I read the synopsis, and I was like, okay, yeah. So that's definitely would try. Next is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Really, I would also include Daisy Jones and the Six with this. But for both of those, I wouldn't touch it. I'm not interested. I do have the Evelyn Hugo book, and I do want to read that. I do have it. But I do not have any desire to read Malibu Rising about this rich family who is going to throw a party. I don't really care. I have no fucks to give about it. And Daisy Jones and the Six, which is about a group rock group. Are they rock or something? And they break up, and it's about them. I could watch a VH1 documentary on any rock band and why they broke up. One of those TV show documentaries on actual bands that this happened to, because it pretty much sounds, in my opinion, I haven't read the book, that it would be like the same concept. So I also just don't care, because I wouldn't even watch a documentary like that to begin with, so I wouldn't read the book. And I heard that the best way to consume that is audiobook, and I really don't care to listen to the audiobook of it. So Malibu Rising, and I know I don't have the cover, but Daisy Jones and the Six, I just wouldn't touch it. You couldn't persuade me to read it. Sorry. I do want to read Evelyn Hugo, though, so that one's not included. So next is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. And honestly, any of Donna Tartt's books, I would not touch with a 10-foot pole. I don't care about whatever this is about. I know it's probably an academic setting. I've heard that it's very pretentious. I don't care. I've heard that it's pretty beige, from what Jess has said, and boring. And I don't care about that. I don't care about that. No, I just don't like what I've heard about it. I don't like what I've heard about the writing. I don't think me and it would mesh. So I'm politely gonna say I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. It's just a no for me. I'm sorry. I don't want to, being pretentious, I don't want to read something that's very pretentious, and that's what I've heard about it. I just have not heard the best things about it. And I know people love it. I know people say it's a literary masterpiece, but I mean, we'll have to agree to disagree. We'll have to. I'm just gonna take you to say that's your opinion, and I don't really care to really find it out for myself. It's just I'm not gonna read it. It just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know exactly what it's about. I just know bits and pieces, and it sounds boring. And last but not least, any Sally Rooney book. My sister really liked Normal People. I don't know if she's read the other two, but all I remember her talking about is Normal People, and I heard that she doesn't use quotation marks, and that's annoying. But even then, I don't really care about the subject matter in which that she's writing about. I don't care about it's like contemporary, so already not really interested. It's I didn't really have a lot of fantasy on this, so I mean, I read a lot more fantasy, and there's no middle grade on this also, so a lot of this is not a lot of these are gonna end up very high. But Sally Rooney, I just wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, cause I don't care. I don't want to read about these these people. These I just don't. From what I've heard about them, I don't think I would enjoy them. I don't care about finding out about these characters, and I don't think I would mesh with the writing. I don't think I would mesh with the story. So I just don't think that it is in my best interest to even give it a try. But again, even with these ones that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, it doesn't mean that I will definitely never, 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 ever touch them, or ever read them. There's always that chance, that small, itty bitty chance that I could, and maybe down the line, if I really want to do it for like a video or something, but like trying a hyped book. But as of right now, I would rather not. I'd rather not put myself through that torture. And I'm not saying all of these are books that I would despise. Some of them are books that I just don't think I would mesh with, and they just don't appeal to me, like Red, White, and Royal Blue. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's not something that I would definitely hate. It's just I don't want to read it. I think the hype has killed it for me. It doesn't appeal to me. Beach read, just too sad, but I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. A Little Life, again, really sad, just wouldn't mesh with me. I don't want to read anything sad. The other ones, I mean, I have nothing to say. But yeah, those are all of the books. So, and definitely would try this. People we meet on vacation would definitely love to try that. The Atlas 6, surprisingly, would actually want to try that. From what I read of the synopsis, I think I would really want to try that. Strong Possibilities, Spanish Love Deception, want to really read. I want to, like, read it because it has that, like, fake dating kind of trope. The two people she can't stand him and everything, and them coming together. The Spanish setting, I really want to read that. It Had One Summer it's a maybe, but I would give it it's a possibility. I could give it a try. It's a maybe. It's a maybe for me. Gonna need some persuading on Heartstopper. Just not interested in a young adult kind of younger contemporary graphic novel thing right now. It's just not in my top thing. Midnight Library has like some topics that I'm not really sure I want to read. So I would need some persuading on those. It would really need to be like a dissertation, like 10 pages or more, and have really good, solid reasoning for why you would want me to read it. And then wouldn't even touch it with a 10-foot pole is pretty much the books that I just wouldn't be interested in because wouldn't mesh well with me. Some of them I really despise the idea of reading. Some of them are just because they're sad, or the hype has killed it for me, or I just don't care about the setting, the story, the plot, and I don't think I'm going to like the characters. So I wouldn't touch those. And I think that, I know this isn't all of those hyped books or popular books, whatever you want to call them, but I think that this is a good idea of where I am with when things are really hyped or popular, this is where my mind is. It's really where I don't think I would really like majority of them, even though I could be wrong. Yeah. I think we've learned that a lot of times we could be very wrong about if we would like something or not. I think like sometimes hype really ruins things, and I am one of those people who just hates hype. I don't like when everyone and their mother or brother or person is all about this book, and there's no couldn't give me anything wrong about it. It's just not for me in that scenario. I just it's. So this is my tier list ranking of the hyped books, popular books that I and the chance of me reading them. I know that a lot of them are in the bottom. I kind of predicted that that would be the case, but I still wanted to do it just to see if maybe something would end up in a different spot. But for the most part, other than the Atlas 6, they're pretty much where I thought they would be. But I hope that you enjoyed anyways, even though a lot of them did end up pretty low. But that's just how it is with me and hype. And like if something doesn't appeal to me, I don't plan on reading it especially anytime soon. But that's pretty much that. And I hope that you do enjoy. That is my tier ranking list. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. I would love to have you here. Hopefully I can do more tier ranking videos. I do enjoy them. It is just a lot of moving parts to do, but I hope that I was in focus for most of the video. I hope that, you know, the lighting is good, the audio isn't too bad. Trying to figure out this camera is a hassle. It stops recording after 11 minutes and then it likes to stop all the time. So it's still a work in progress, so please bear with me, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyways, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.